Good day. We are discussing basically artificial intelligence and how its development over the next few years is going to affect your life. You see, why they are building all these data centers is because large language models need a lot of data and will store a lot of data in order to maintain and continue to administrate the system, so to speak. So, how will it affect you as an individual? There's a lot of different aspects that we will cover in different videos, but in this video, we want to cover maybe this police officer stops you at a roadside. What will it be like in that new world order? Well, because of data, it will mean that everything about you will be detectable, and deductible, and transactable. Meaning, to make transactions easy, there will be sensors on your body, whatever they may be, biometric sensors that are embedded in your body, such that when an AI or a humanoid looks at you, automatically to detect your chemical composition, your alcohol level, your drug level, whatever, your chemical composition affecting your emotion, your current state of emotion or mood, whatever, it will all be detectable. And deductible, meaning if you've got illegal substances, some kind of a social credit score will be deductible. They take off points or put in points, as the case may be. And if it's something that they need to punish you for, they'll be able to deduct your bank balance, which will also be detectable by your biometric sensors. So when a police officer just looks at you, they know your bank balance, they know your ID, they know your state. So that's what's coming. That's why they're talking about 15-minute cities. They're talking about, what 15-minute cities basically means that because everything is detectable and deductible and transactable, and it's detectable and deductible, you know what I mean? It will mean they don't have to worry about where you are, because all their sensors will prevent you going where you can't be. So you can't get out of an area. So if the system says, for instance, you've now been incarcerated to community service for 3 years at a certain location, you can choose the location. Maybe it's where you stay. Now you are stuck to that particular address for the next 3 years, and you cannot get out. That's your incarceration. Basically, you don't even have to go to jail. You are incarcerated. You stay in that area unless you become a serious case, I guess, where they have to take you somewhere. But for normal standard issues like car parking tickets, they'll just make sure they can just incarcerate you wherever you stay. And for that reason, then it means that that's why the money is going to become programmable as well. Because now if you try to use a ticket to get out of that area, you can't. Everything refuses to transact with you based on your biometrics. That's what's coming. And it's all will be in the data, and the data will be in the cloud. And we used to say cloud in those days. When it started being cloud, it was like a joke. But now it will be the real cloud, because some of the data will actually be in the clouds, in space, so to speak. So what's coming is very soft. It's going to be soft. What I mean by that is all going to run on software, as to the point where there is no interface that you need to. There will be no fixed interfaces like an ATM. Why? Because an ATM has got a single purpose, and that will not be necessary at that point, because the ATM of the future can dispense cash, as well as, if cash might not be necessary, but I'm saying it can dispense any one of many things, you understand, including groceries, because you just switch the function. It's a different software running, and so that's really the world that's coming. And it's all data based, and it's all soft, and it's all based on the human being as a transactable object. That's what that guy Harari was saying, that the human is hackable. That's what it means, that we are going to become hackable, in the sense that as human beings, we will be a sensor that can be a sensor that can also be sensed. Meaning we can sense things. We'll have that capacity to sense what's around us through augmentation, but as well as us also being detectable by other sensors around us, and giving out information with or without our authority, mostly without our authority, about who we are, our history, criminal history, health history, bank balance, everything. It will be detectable, deductible. I love those words. And transactable. That's the world that's coming. So you better be ready for that world. And in that world, there will also be no distinction between humanoids and non-humanoids and part humanoids, because some humanoids, in fact, what I'm trying to say is that we'll all become humanoids, because some humanoids will have originally started off as humanoids, then they will have gotten organic parts augmentation for whatever reason, and they will be now part human, part organ, probably not having a soul, but they will still be as you look at them, there will not be no difference between them and the human and the non-human. Some humans will have started off natural, but then they will have augmented themselves with semiconductor organs and whatnot that are not organic, and so therefore that distinction will go. And the main challenge about that distinction is then the value of a human soul is going to become very questionable unless you are religious, because you will not be able to distinguish between the original human and the new human, and both will be living side by side. And probably as time goes, the complete human will be degrading and becoming less and less. And that's the phase that's coming. I think, let me leave it there. It's so demoralizing. That's basically what's coming. And I see it from the software, because I'm a software developer in artificial intelligence. And I can tell you that from the capacities and capabilities that you see in large language models, or VL JEPA, the Facebook version of the same thing, is astounding, and it's got a lot of potential. It's got its shortcomings in terms of sentience, but in terms of artificial general intelligence being able to do different things at the same time, just like a human being, that point is coming soon to pass. We are almost there, and it's frightening. Thank you. Have a good day.